So let's just start with the very beginning. Every day, you need to go into your LinkedIn account and check the messaging window. See all of the ones that have come in that need to be responded to. So for example, the easiest way to do that is just to come up here and say sort it by unread. Basically, these shouldn't show up. I don't know why they are, but these are definitely unread right here because they're bold and are like that. That's one way of organizing it. But what you need to do is come down here and you can see to the right the messaging and what it's saying. So this guy, Frank Howard, sent Darren a message, the client, to connect. Okay, so they're now connection. So he did that. So let's start with this scripting document that you will have access to. You'll see here in blue the header for what each of the responses are below it, what they're used for. When someone sends you an invitation to connect, we want you to actually answer all those. But if it's not clear why they're asking you to connect, come up to My Network. Let's just look at Manage All. We can see that these are just generic, or they would actually say something below it that would be the edited version of the reach out to connect. Instead of just accepting from these people, we don't really know who they are or why they want to connect. So don't just accept from anybody. What you want to do is open up this document and you're going to basically copy and paste that in. What you want to do though is plug all of these into your RoboForm. Invitations and profile views, accepting and answering the invitations. So if I want, I'm going to go like this, copy it, go up to RoboForm, come down to Safe Notes, create a new one, and let's say accepting requests. Say OK, paste it in. I'll say I'm Darren. So that's set. I go up here to save. So now what I want to do is I'll say, instead of, remember, how did I get here? Let's start all over. So you log into your LinkedIn account every day. And this is the process you're going to follow all the way through with everything. First thing you do is go to My Network. Instead of answering in here, go to Manage All. Here's where you can message the person back without ignoring or accepting. You say message. Okay, now I can go up here, go down to Safe Notes, right here under accepting requests, and just paste it in. Change the name. So, hi Paul, thanks for your invitation. I try to only accept from people who I know. Okay, so that's good to go. Send. I can just shut that for now. And I'm going to go into Message Alan. It's already in the system, right? So I just need to paste it in. Okay, so this is important because it'll keep your network pure, but more importantly, it will begin conversations with people, which is obviously kind of the main goal of what we want to try and have happen. Okay, so there you go. Step number one of your daily LinkedIn maintenance, clear out these people. Now, you may never hear from them again. Give it a few days. If you don't, just ignore them. If they come back with a message that's like, okay, yeah, then go ahead and accept and begin the conversation with them. Another thing to understand is, you know how where you come here and it has this set of people you may know. It's always kind of feeding you people that you could connect to. Once we begin our process, don't do this anymore. Okay, if you were, no reason to do this. What we're about to unleash on you would be akin to a fire hose, and this would be like grabbing a cup to get a glass of water. So you don't need to add any more people on your own. Just follow the process I just kind of showed with those that have already reached out to you, and that's fine. But based on what we're going to be doing going forward, you're not going to be adding any more people. The next thing you're going to do, come down here, and here's a response you can put in for people who have viewed your profile. And so if you want, you can go in and look at those people every week. Maybe you set a recurring appointment on a Friday and go in and reach out to all those people. And so, for example, here's a recruiter or someone else, if you're not quite sure, or just the more generic. But hey, I noticed you viewed my profile and I wasn't quite sure what led you to me, but I thought I'd reach out and inquire. Would you like to connect? Okay, so copy this, go in to RoboForm, Safe Notes, New, okay, paste that in, save it, and now you'll have 2 of these that are in that you'll be able to come in and easily use to respond. So for example, you come over to who's viewed your profile. Okay, you can get kind of a visual snapshot there. And you've got 17 interesting views, which we can look at. 4 that work at the U.S. Army, 3. So you can kind of look and see, have you applied for a job at a certain company? If you notice that they come and looked at your profile, that can tell you what kind of response you might want to use. And again, 7 people with the job title of recruiter. Okay, I might want to go definitely look at those people and send that message. Okay, if I'm not sure why this person, now I'm a first level to them, so I should know. But if this person I'm not sure, I can go ahead and click on their name and then come here, message them, maybe put in a subject, connecting, paste it in. Okay, so I'll send this message to him. In this case, it looks like I'm using one of 15 InMail credits. Okay, so if I'm okay sending it and using one of those, then I'll use it. If I don't want to, then don't. But let's go back. Okay, basically just look down at these people and see who might be worth responding to with that response. Okay, so this guy's at Korn Ferry. He's a first level, so that won't cost me anything to respond back or reach out to them. And basically, if you're already a first level with them, maybe you already know them, and so it's clear. But any that you think might be a recruiter from a job that you applied for, or who is at a company that you're interested in, those would be people that you definitely want to reach out to and use that script. Right, so here's the script so you're going to copy up to your RoboForm that you're going to use on a daily basis. Notice is going to do 2 things. One is we're going to reach out and connect you to recruiters in your target area. And the other is we're going to reach out to people that we want to try to set up connect-working meetings. Basically reaching out to people that would be potentially your boss. Okay, so there'll be those 2 types of meetings. So this is new contact, connect working. So you're going to choose which one you like out of these. Okay, let's copy this in to recruiter response, safe notes. Okay, let's just say maybe recruiter second, because the first was to see if they'll connect, and this is going to be your response after they accept. So recruiter second, let's paste this in. So I'm going to save that. Okay, so when I come in to messaging, right here is where I'm looking to respond to those people who it says have accepted my invitation. All right, so here's an example. I went into messaging, and right here at the top you can see here's the message we sent out to this person. He wanted to target people that are private equity, VC people in California. We sent out the message. Here's the invitation. She accepted. As soon as she accepted, he sent the next message, which is this. This was in his safe note. So here's exactly what he pasted in. And she responded, I agree. It's all about who you know. Basically, let's connect. Let's talk. Okay, so we're going to send out the first message to a recruiter or to the person that would be potentially this strategic connection, your boss, whomever. As soon as it shows you that that person has accepted the invitation, it'll say Natalia Sokolova is now a connection. You'll click on it. You'll go up to RoboForm, go to your safe notes, copy the script right there of what you're going to send as your next message to that person, paste it in, and send it. Like this next message right here. Then just keep the conversation going with that person, right? That's what all these are, all the messages going back and forth. So you can see again right here, same thing. We sent this message originally. John accepted it. He saw that. He went in. He copied his second message to these VC people, pasted it in, changed it to John, and hit send. And then this guy responded back, happy to talk. So two of these people, as you can see on the same day, already are willing to engage. And these are executive level VC people. So see how this person, you can see that there's a message in there. And it's not just like that. So on that one, you can click. See, here's the message you sent. Basically, here's the message we sent for you. And then his response automatically was this, which is really great response. Okay? Another person, not very far down from there, he just responded perfectly to just like that. Okay? I mean, there's a lot of really friendly and helpful people out there. It's amazing. And so he didn't really even ask to do anything besides to connect. And these two people were already giving their phone number and being very proactive about getting together. So it's wonderful. So the way you manage this, right, is to look, and anybody that responds, feel free to go ahead now and engage. And do, right? Don't let these things sit. Don't let messages in here pile up. That's the message, okay? Keep on top of things, and there's going to be a ton of activity going on. And so if you're not checking this every day, multiple times a day, and making sure that you are responding, then this is going to become overwhelming for you because there's going to be way too much activity going on. And once you're connecting and talking to recruiters and then actual people about jobs and then people that you're just reaching out to do connect working meetings, if you're not staying on top of the messages every day and kind of clearing out all the messages that need to be responded to each day, you're going to get behind and you're going to start to feel overwhelmed, and it's not going to be good. And you're going to miss out on opportunities because the timeliness of it will have come and gone, and it's like, sorry, we already filled it, and I reached out to you 2 weeks ago and I didn't hear from you. So you might think that's crazy, but it happens more times than you might think with clients who aren't used to checking their LinkedIn as much. You have to use RoboForm to do this. There's no other way to stay on top of things. Managing the job search is all about fewer keystrokes, fewer clicks, and RoboForm is an incredible tool to help do that. So you'd be crazy not to take advantage of that. I wanted to show you what you should do when you get a response to the endorsements that we are sending out for you. For most of you, we are sending out from our LinkedIn software program something that endorses all of your first level connections, and it'll usually endorse 3 to 5 of their top skills, let's say, and it'll just systematically go through and do everyone that's a first level connection, and usually about, say, 15 people per day. When they log into LinkedIn, they're going to see up in their messaging app up here something that shows you endorsed them. And so down below here, they have some pre-made things for them to just click on that just says, thanks for endorsing me for engineering. It's just like that. So you can just click that and be done. You'll see that, and that'll come in, and that's cool. Sometimes someone actually, puts a little extra in, so that's a little more personalized from Craig. So what do? Why are we doing this, first of all? Well, because I believe strongly that being thoughtful and being able to be someone that people look at in that way sets you up for something positive down the road. In other words, if I need to reach out to Craig in a month or two from now and want his help on a position, well, he's going to see in the messages back and forth between the two of us, right above my message asking him if he can help me out, that I endorsed him. It's a lot harder to say no when somebody has done something for you and they didn't have to do it, right? So all of your first level people are going to think, this is a pretty classy person. That's really nice that he did that. So we're trying to plant these kinds of seeds with all of your first level. It doesn't take any effort on your part, but I think it can really be super valuable. Now, the next part of it is it's a conversation starter, right? So think about it, right? On your activity log, remember, you exported all of your LinkedIn connections and you separated everybody into unknown, known, recruiters, brand fans, and so forth. Thinking about the messages that we would be sending to each of those people, depending on which group they're classified in. Okay, think about that, right? Eventually, we would have sent a message out to all of the recruiters that were your first level connections, or all the people that were people and so forth. Well, Craig is in one of those tabs. The way I like to think about it is, think about like you're sending out a Christmas card to everybody, but Craig stops by your house and you're like, oh, hey, let me go get this. And you go grab the Christmas card and just give it to him in person because he's actually at the house right now. So now it saves you the price of a stamp, right? So in a sense, that's kind of what this is. Because we are using this endorsement and his response as a way to say, hey, let's capitalize on this conversation that we've kind of brought to the surface. That's a better way to lead into the reach out that you would have done, depending on, again, whether he's a recruiter or a LinkedIn unknown or a LinkedIn known or a brand fan. What you say to the person would be what you would have sent in your message, depending on who he is. Make sense? Again, he may be an unknown. He's obviously not a recruiter. So I'm looking at that guy. Okay, he's not a recruiter. Let's say he's an unknown. So what do? Well, you need to go look at Craig's profile. Now, knowing what you're looking for, what you're going after, is he someone that you would have wanted to ask for a networking meeting? If he is, then that's the kind of response you're going to send back. If he's someone that you look and think, not really, I don't really see anything there, then you're not going to say anything except you're welcome. But look down and maybe, like we do on the other processes of LinkedIn, look at something and try and bone up a little bit to maybe include in your response something about him as a rapport builder as well. But mainly, you're going to go ahead now back and say, all right, he is someone I want to go ahead and try and set up a networking meeting with. His title, he's in the industry I'm targeting, whatever it might be. If he meets that criteria, then instead of just you saying, it's my pleasure and being done, which is what you'll do if they're not someone you really want to go to the next step with, then you're going to go ahead and say, yeah, it's my pleasure. But then you're going to paste in from your RoboForm the script that you would have used in that reach out. Okay, does that make sense? So tailor it up a little bit. Tell them you're welcome. And hey, by the way, now that we're talking here, I was thinking that, now that it's 2020, I thought it would be a good idea to get to know some of my first level connections a little better. And so, what are your thoughts on that? And basically pasting in the remaining script. So that's basically what you're doing. We're bringing these people to the surface. We're starting the conversation with the thoughtful act of endorsing them. It's your job to decide whether to capitalize on it now and turn the thank you into a conversation, or whether to just respond back with a you're welcome or something like that, and then just move on. So That's what you need to start doing with all of the people that say thank you. You should see a few of those pretty much every day for the next while. I actually had a client 2 weeks ago responding to the person's thank you turned into a conversation, and he actually ended up getting a job directly from starting that conversation with the individual and the conversation they had. He was referred in on a job from that person directly. And so this is a really great way to capitalize on the people that are already in your network. These are different people than the ones that we're adding currently to your network. I'm not sure if we've mentioned this before, but a lot of clients aren't aware that the person that you're connected to first level, you can get their email address directly from their contact info right here. There's a lot of times where you can probably think when it would be preferable to just email someone instead of waiting to send them something through LinkedIn when they're a first level connection. You just want to move things along more quickly, and I'd say sending an email is probably preferable most of the time. Here's where you can get some more personalized information to send your message to them in a different way than your LinkedIn messaging.